I'm Lily. Today I'm going to read you the story, The Traveling Players, 옥스포드리딩트리 Level 9, The Traveling Players. Okay, let's read it. The children were putting on a play. Wolf loved acting. I'd like to be an actor one day, he said. She was not so keen. I can't remember my lines, he said. That's why I haven't given you a part, laughed Wolf. Wolf was directing the play. It's a medieval play, he said. People performed play like this hundreds of years ago. Plays like this were performed by traveling players. The play was about George and the dragon. Wolf was George and Nadim was the dragon. Nadim made flames shoot out of the dragon's nostrils. He used a fan that blew red cloth, but so far only one nostril was working. Chip didn't have a part. He was too prompt. The actors when they couldn't remember their lines. The prompter is very important, said Wolf, but Chip was bored. He went upstairs and went into Pip's room to borrow her charger for his game. Wolf began to say her lines. Here come I, a mighty knight, when Dad came in. Sorry, everyone, said Dad. I have to hoover the carpet. Would you mind going somewhere else? Let's practice our lines in my room, said Biff. In Biff's room, Chip saw the key lying on the floor. He picked it up and suddenly it began to glow. Oh no, said Kipper, not another adventure. I'm all by myself as well, and just when I was about to go up a level on my game. At the moment, the rest of the children came upstairs. Just as the key began to glow, they walked into Biff's room. It whisked them all into the adventure as well. Look, she went first and the others went next. So the key took Chip to a wood. There was no sign to the others. Then he heard two men coming through the wood towards him. They were walking loudly. Quickly, Chip crouched down behind a bush so that he couldn't be seen. Chip heard one of the men say, She's worked hard to gain their trust. She knows what to do. We can't get the access. Let's win again. Chip wondered what this strange conversation meant. He sank lower in the bush, but as he did so, a twig snapped. One of the men spun round. Who's spying on us? He yelled. He ran towards the bush, waving a stick. Chip gasped. His heart pounded. He jumped out and ran off as fast as they could. The other man laughed. It's just a boy, he said. Meanwhile, the other children arrived in the adventure, but in a different place. They were on a road. Lying in the middle of it was a helmet. Further on were a dish and a gold crown. Strange, said Nadim. Why has somebody dropped all the things in the road? The children hurried on. Round the corner was a large wagon. On the back, a chest had fallen over. The lid was open and things were dropping out. The wagon lurched into a rut and the dragon slipped sideways. Mind the dragon, a woman shouted. It's our most expensive prop. I think the key has brought us back to the Middle Ages, said Anina. These people are traveling actors. Uma gave the props back to the woman. Oh, thank you, said the woman. We need these things. We are the access players. We are going to St. Albans, a man added. Other groups of actors will be there. We are all taking part in a competition for the mayor's purse. The best play wins a purse of silver. We're actors too, said Wolf, but our play is about George and the dragon. Well, I thought if you could win the competition, said the woman. We have won it every year for the past 3 years. Besides, you're too young. The children walked into the access players, but it was slow with the heavy wagon. The wagon is our stage, explained the woman, whose name was Beth. It carries all we need. At last the players stopped to eat some food. One of the players did not sit and eat with the others. She sat on a tree stump, sewing a costume. Come and eat with us, Jen, an actor called. No, I need to work on the costumes, said Jen. She's a new member of our company, said Beth. She looks after the costumes. Just then, Chip arrived. He looked really pleased to see them. "I'm so glad you're in the adventure too," he panted. "I thought I was all alone." "These are traveling players," said Wolf. "They are taking part in competition at St. Albans." Chip glanced at Jen. What was she sprinkled into one of the costumes? He remembered a conversation he had heard earlier on between the two men, but he wasn't sure if it had anything to do with Jen. Soon they reached St. Albans. The town was full of actors getting ready for the competition. I'm glad we've got here," said Nadim. The dragon's head was getting heavy. The actors players set up their wagon and put on their costumes. "The wagons are set round the market square," said Beth. "Each company acts in turn. We're on first." "Where's Jan?" asked one actor. "She needs to check our costumes." Suddenly, Beth began to scratch herself. Then all the actors began to scratch. One of them pulled off his shirt, and another began to hop and rub his skin. "We can't perform like this," said one. "Someone has put something in our costumes to make us itch. It's to stop us putting on our play." "Oh, wow!" gasped Beth, scratching herself all over. The play is due to start any minute. There's one thing for it. You children must put on your play instead." Wolf gulped. "We'll do it," he said. If we can do it here, we can do it anywhere." There was no time to feel nervous. A crowd had gathered in front of the wagon. "Where's Chip?" hissed Nadim. "He's not here." Wolf climbed on the stage and stepped forward. "We are the young axe players," he announced. "We present George and the dragon." The people laughed. "Children, they can't act," a man bellowed. "That does it," said Wilma. "We will show them. Here come I, a mighty knight. I come from lands afar tonight to fight." She swung her sword just as someone threw an apple. Look at this. Someone threw the apple and Wilma crushed the apple. Wilma's sword hit the apple. Splat! It broke into fragments, shattering the crowd. "What a shot!" yelled someone. After that, the play went well. The crowd cheered when Nadim's dragon came on, breathing fire. As the play ended, Chip had come to the stage with the mayor. The mayor held Jen by the arm. "Tell the people what you did," the mayor demanded. "Tell them what you put in the players' costumes." "It was itching powder," said Jen sadly. "The Oxford actors paid me to do it. They gave me the itching powder. They want to win the competition," sniffed Jen. The crowd booed and hissed. "The Oxford actors are banned from the contest," the mayor announced. "Arrest this woman, find the Oxford actors, and drive them out of town." The mayor went on. The competition will be postponed until the itching powder has worn off. Here's a small reward for acting so well and for catching a treat." He gave a small bag of silver coins to Chip. "I'm glad you weren't in the play," said Wolf. It meant you could catch Jan before she got away." "We will never know if the Access players will win the competition," said Chip. "The key is glowing." The children put on their play in the garden. Chip said in the audience, "I've checked the costumes for itching powder," he laughed to himself, "and they don't need me to prompt them." "The young Access players present George and the Dragon," announced Wolf. At the end, the players gave a bow. "They were good," said Nadim instead. "You would think they had done it all before." "He doesn't know what they have," thought Chip, "thanks to itching powder." Bye!